It's so expensive to live here. We've all heard those words before. Most likely we've even said it ourselves. But what does it mean in numbers? In this video, we will talk about what is the cost of living here in Castro Valley and compare it to a city like Portland, Oregon. Hey guys, it's Mac Rogers, broker owner of Albert Rogers Realty here in Castro Valley, California, in the lovely East Bay of San Francisco. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. This channel is all about living in the East Bay. What is it like to live here? How much does it cost to live here? If you're looking to move here or move out of here, I also give tips, advice, hacks for home buyers and home sellers. And I also do monthly real estate market updates. If we can help you out, give us a call, text, email, smoke signals, pigeon carriers. However you want to reach us, we would love to help you out. When you talk about cost of living, it's usually related to the cost of living index. What is the cost of living index? It's an index that allows you to compare one place to another. It gives you an idea how far your money will go before you move. For our purposes, let's compare Castro Valley and Portland, Oregon. Portland is a popular destination for people here in the Bay Area. Let's start with the biggest expense, housing. Look at that, it's almost 50% more. It shouldn't be a shock, but it still is when you actually see the number. Castro Valley is almost 50% more than Portland. Last month's average sales price here in Castro Valley was actually closer to $950,000. As if that was not enough, you then have to compete for a home when you do find one. You can't just make an offer and expect to get it outright. Portland is starting to be similar. It's getting more competitive, and they actually blame this on Californians that moved there. What's more is that in Portland, what you get for that $500,000 price tag, it's actually a lot more than what you get for the average sales price here in Castro Valley. Now, take a look at this house. This is what you get for $500,000 in Portland. In Castro Valley, this is what you get. Nothing. Well, actually not nothing, but you don't get the same for sure. You probably get a condo for that price. For my renter friends out there, check out these numbers. Portland is also more expensive compared to the average US city, but look at the numbers in Castro Valley. Almost double that of Portland. I'm getting a headache just giving you these numbers. Now let's move on to groceries, health, and utilities. Castro Valley, again, more expensive. Food or groceries higher here, which is surprising considering Portland has a lot more organic groceries, which tends to be more expensive. The price difference is probably more about the cost of doing business rather than the actual price of the goods. For us, a family of 4 and a dog, on average, our monthly grocery bill is around $600. Our utilities, $115 for internet. That's not even the fastest. Electricity, about $250. Water, $300 a quarter. Garbage, around $160 a quarter. Gas is about $3 per gallon here. The other thing that was surprising here is that Portland has a slightly higher cost in transportation. It's surprising because Portland has a very good public transportation system, and they're even more bike-friendly over there than here. Comparing average commute times, Portland has a shorter commute by around 8 minutes. Although I honestly believe that this number for Castro Valley should be higher. Now, I've talked to some of my Portland friends and people that have lived in Portland, and they said that the 26 minutes is pretty spot on. Even with rush hour traffic, they can usually get to where they want to be in less than 30 minutes. Now, it seems like a lot of things are much closer together in Portland. The one thing that I like is Mount Hood. If you wanted to go skiing or snowboarding in the winter, it's just an hour away from Portland. Here, it's almost 3 hours to get to the mountains. Healthcare is another thing that we pay more here. Can't give you dollar amounts because health insurance is a very individual thing. But on average, Portland pays less, and they have more doctors per 100,000 people. What I'm a bit surprised about is that Castro Valley is not actually that much higher than the US average for healthcare costs. Now, education is another big thing. I don't know if this translates to quality of education, but I think it's a factor. On average, Castro Valley spends less per student than Portland. Portland also has fewer students to teacher ratio. Next, let's compare air quality and rainfall. I mean, you gotta find out, right, if there's a difference. California has one of the strictest standards for pollution in the world. Not the US, in the world. Air quality is something we have better. Boy, am I glad that all that extra taxes, extra regulation on the car industry, on the oil companies, on us, there's an effect, right? What's surprising is how low that number is for Portland. Somehow I feel like with all the rain that they get up there, it should be washing away that pollution, right? Doesn't it work that way? Plus, with all the greenery that they have, it should be soaking up a lot of carbon dioxide. Continuing on with climate, rainfall, no surprise here, Portland almost doubled that of Castro Valley, but only slightly above that of the national average. Again, this is something that was a bit of a surprise to me. It seems like when you hear about Portland, it's always raining. Now, what about sunny days? Please, this is why it's so expensive not only in Castro Valley, but in California in general. It's called the weather tax. We have more sunny days here. In other miscellaneous costs, these are your repairs, clothing, entertainment, and other services and expenses. Castro Valley actually comes in slightly lower than Portland. Another area where Castro Valley comes in lower is crime. Castro Valley crime is a lot lower than Portland, but I just want to say this, that it doesn't mean that Portland is not a safe city. As a matter of fact, the website Travel Safe actually said that it's one of the safest major cities in the US by virtually any measure. Job market and the economy is not a good comparison since Portland is actually a major business hub, while Castro Valley is more of a residential community. The one thing that Portland and Castro Valley have in common or closely related to is population by occupation. Take a look at this table. The breakdown of jobs by population is almost similar in all categories. In summary, Castro Valley is 30.5% more expensive than Portland. Housing is a whopping 49.5% more, and also 17% more in healthcare. So there you have it, the cost of living here in Castro Valley compared to Portland, Oregon. Here's one last bit of information to compare. If you were making $200,000 here in Castro Valley, that salary equivalent in Portland, Oregon is between $137,000 and $164,000. I hope you got some information from this video. We help a lot of home buyers and home sellers in and around the East Bay. If that is you, we would love to help you. Give us a call, send us a text message, email, smoke signals or carrier pigeon, however you want to reach us, we are here for you. Watch out for more videos about Castro Valley and the rest of the surrounding cities. Subscribe so you won't miss out.